Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, you are not ready for this one because the streets of hip-hop are on fire. Jim Jones, who once strutted around Harlem like a king, is now reportedly crying after a surprise so outrageous and bizarre that even Maury Povich might yell, "You are not the father." Or are you sure you heard me right? According to shocking new reports, Chrissy Lampkin, Jim's longtime companion and reality TV ride or die star, has been caught in the messiest scandal of the decade. It may or may not have been smuggled out of a courtroom by a shady intern with a bad Wi-Fi connection. This is the scandal of all scandals, and we're digging all the way in. The cameras flash, the murmurs turn to gas, and the courtroom that was supposed to handle yet another celebrity drama calmly suddenly turns into ground zero of the Dipset dynasty. Jones recently learned that Chrissy Lampkin has been harboring a hidden kid all along. The treatery, duplicity, and boldness is perhaps hip-hop's most shocking betrayal ever. How did this ever happen under Jim's nose? Stay tuned, grab your popcorn, and buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will make love and hip-hop look like a Disney movie. The most shocking betrayal in Harlem has ever seen Jim Jones despise royalty, Mr. We Fly High, and now, according to our very reliable, by which I mean completely dubious sources close to the situation, Jim Jones has simply fallen under his own weight. No amount of cold swagger or street cred could save him from reality. So what's got the rapper turned businessman reportedly crying into his Louis Vuitton scarf? Chrissy Lampkin, the woman who kept him down for decades, who stuck by him through label disputes, Torah drama, and enough reality TV fights to make us appear weak. According to reports from what can only be described as the most outrageous court session since Cardi B was found guilty of throwing shoes at dancers, Chrissy Lampkin had the ultimate secret that was kept hidden from Jim Jones, the world, and possibly even the creators of love and hip-hop. I know what you're thinking, but believe me when I say that a man who once claimed to have eyes and ears everywhere can't ignore a baby-sized elephant in the room. The janitor who overheard everything while cleaning outside the courthouse. Jim, for those of you living under a rock or simply too young to remember the Dipset period, here is the history you need to enjoy. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have been the pair of mayhem from Harlem block parties to love and hip-hop. They nearly established the pattern for being toxic, yet making it legendary via breakups, makeup, and off-again turmoil. Missing weddings, matching tattoos, and public confrontations that had fans screaming, "Just marry her soon." Jones was blindsided during testimony by bombshell documents allegedly containing text message receipts and held onto your wigs. They weathered it all, or so we thought, until Cameron, also known as Cam, the petty king of hip-hop, entered the courtroom looking like a pink Grim Reaper. Cameron allegedly delivered the receipts for Chrissy's alleged betrayal, saying, "Let's be real, if Cameron is in the room, something messy is about to go down." He then pulled out an envelope as if he were at the Source Awards and revealed why my brother Jim Jones has been wandering around thinking he was living. Our unnamed legal source claims that in a love story while he was starring in a daytime soap opera. The court sketch artist spilled the tea. The evidence presented allegedly shows that Chrissy Lampkin was secretly involved with another man years ago, and their relationship resulted in a child that Jim Jones was unaware existed. This is not just some random messy rumor. Oh no, the courtroom allegedly exploded like it was the Bits Awards and someone said Beyonce was pregnant again. You could hear the screams as Jim Jones sank in his chair, removed his cuffs, and muttered to his lawyer, "I can't believe this." For him, loyalty isn't just a phrase, it's his brand and his entire persona. Having his most trusted partner ride or die is reportedly maintaining this kind of earth-shattering secret. This wasn't just betrayal. It was character assassination in broad daylight. If you think the courtroom was shaken, imagine the influx of memes, hashtags, TikToks, and thought pieces from bogus relationship gurus who apparently earned a master's degree in Dipset drama overnight. One Twitter user put it perfectly: Jim Jones finding out Chrissy Lampkin has a secret child is the plot twist we didn't know we needed in 2024. While fans were busy trying to figure out time frames and do celebrity paternity arithmetic, was this before the show. During season 3, Jim Jones apparently disappeared from public eye, slipped out of a book club hosting gig, and unfollowed Chrissy Lampkin on Instagram. Unfollowing is essentially filing for divorce in 2024. And Chrissy Lampkin has the world is now left with the one question on everyone's mind. How the hell did Jim Jones not know how a guy surrounded by cameras, friends and haters miss a secret? Is this the ultimate betrayal? Or is there more to this story than we've been told? Cameron, usually the king of dodgy Instagram captions, has kept it strangely lousy for now. But if history is any indication, he's just loading. The next round of petty waiting for the perfect moment. As the courtroom erupted into a frenzy, the judge slapped down the gavel and loudly declared, "We are adjourned until tomorrow morning. Further evidence and witness testimonies will be presented." The crowd erupted in shocked conversation as reporters and photographers attacked the courthouse steps like crazed beasts, and this is where things took a turn for the worse. It had been quiet in the morning, but by daylight, the courthouse had become the town's biggest circus, with reporters, bloggers, TikTok investigators, and every shaved gossip page imaginable swarming outside like sneakerheads. Tensions were high as Jim Jones and his legal team entered the courthouse while waiting for a new Jordan release. He had a big hoodie pulled over his head, sunglasses on, and a look that said one thing: "I did not wake up for this Chrissy Lampkin Cameron." Cameron arrived fashionably late, wearing a bright pink tracksuit with what could only be described as "I told you so" spirit. The judge warned the courtroom to remain calm and that any outburst would not be tolerated, which obviously meant nothing, but that the atmosphere was too messy, gossipy. And then came the next bombshell: the prosecution, backed by anonymous sources, allegedly including a disgruntled ex-friend and a hairstylist who overheard everything, provided what they claim is unquestionable evidence of Chrissy's alleged double life. Exhibit A purportedly leaked private text exchanges between Chrissy and a man who is only mentioned in court documents as Mr. X. According to the affidavit N-Stex, showing that Chrissy had rekindled an old romance around the time Jim and Chrissy were presumably working on wedding preparations, of cryptic flirtations, mentions of secret meetings, and the now iconic statement that sent Twitter into a complete meltdown caused everyone in the courtroom to gasp. Even Cameron, who had spent the majority of the morning looking through his phone as if he was completely bored, raised an eyebrow at Jim, who allegedly froze. Witnesses said he looked like he had just been hit with a sledgehammer. And his lawyers muttered nervously as the prosecution continued to reveal their alleged mountain of evidence. Next came the alleged bank records that showed Chrissy had been sending large sums of money each month to a private trust established in the name of a child. The prosecution conjectured that Chrissy was providing financial support for a child that Jim was unaware of, while the defense insisted that the payments were charitable contributions and private family matters. However, the damage had already been done. Conspiracy theorists on TikTok pieced together time periods, compared Miss X's Instagram posts to previous romantic relationships and hip-hop shows, and even compared newborn photos of Miss X to try to prove likeness. One TikTok boldly stated, "Look at that nose, it's Genetics' girlfriend." While the circus raged online, Jim sat calmly with no tweets, posts, or even a passive-aggressive mood meme. Some followers started posting side-by-side photos of Jim from years ago versus now with captions like, "This man has aged 15 years, overnight prayers up." Cameron, never wanting to waste a good time for muck, shared a boomerang of himself drinking tea with the caption, "Patience is everything." However, back in court, things were about to get much wilder. The next witness was a former acquaintance of Chrissy's who was under for the first time since the controversy began. Jim was afraid that the truth would ruin not only their relationship, but also their lucrative reality TV agreements, endorsements, and public image as the protector. The protection Jane Doe status said that Chrissy had allegedly confided in her years ago about an accident that resulted in a child and that she had no intentions to ever inform Jim. The courtroom audibly gasped again. The judge slammed the gavel twice, and Jane Doe accused Chrissy of justifying the concealment by saying, "I couldn't risk him finding out. It would ruin everything." Paul, the ultimate hip-hop power couple, looked up and looked straight ahead, unblinking, and his expression said it all. The rumors outside the courthouse had now burst into a full-scale media storm, with newspaper headlines shouting out the baby bombshell that shook Dipset Chrissy's deepest secret and eventually exposing Jim Jones's fame from We Fly High to We Weep High. We Weep High. One viral hit highlighted Jim's fame, We Soar High, while another video featured Mona Scott Young with devil horns, purportedly planning how to turn this into 10 new Love and Hip Hop episodes. Fans enjoyed it, but when things got serious, the defense argued that none of the evidence proved anything conclusively, that the alleged messages were taken out of context, that the donations were charitable, and that the witness testimony was unreliable hearsay from a former friend turned opportunist. The judge said that more witnesses would be heard the following day, possibly including an appearance by Mr. X himself. The courtroom was a flurry of activity, with reporters taking copious notes, courtroom sketch artists documenting every emotional moment, and watching live outside in the hopes of, when the court adjourned, if there was even a hint of Jim or Chrissy stepping in or out. Jim got up slowly, put the hood back over his head, and walked away without saying anything to anyone. Cameron laughed as if he already knew he had one more trick up his sleeve. The world waited for Mr. X to arrive and reveal the truth. Would Chrissy break her? Would Cameron's pity rule continue to escalate? The court date was set, and the media dubbed it Judici Day for Dipset. Outside, fans gathered with pleards, reading Jim blinked twice, and if he was okay, Chrissy had a side quest. Jim didn't even receive the side mission notification. And then, as if the drama gods were planning the final season finale, the shocking news flashed across everyone's phones. It was unverified, and the streets went crazy. Neil's helicopters, for supposedly already airborne protection, were boosted, and the internet did what it does best. It made predictions, made phony screenshots, and, of course, made memes. The countdown had started on day 3. And the trial promised to be the most intense yet. And as the sun sank over New York City, there was only one worry left: lose not just his relationship, but his entire legacy, which the fans didn't have. Day 3 was just hours away, and as the cameras followed reporters, fans, and bus experts as they got ready to pack the courthouse once more, everyone in the world held their breath, wondering what would happen next. The controversy wasn't slowing down. In fact, it was about to explode again. The sun rose over Manhattan, but the city felt darker and heavier, as if even the concrete knew what was coming. Crowds had already gathered outside the courtroom before daybreak, and several people avoided work by flying in from other states. Influencers were live streaming from the steps, TikTokers. On day 3 of the trial, which had been officially titled The Day Murderer X Comes, the audience screamed, "Could this finally be him?" as an unmarked black SUV pulled up to the door and a tall, elegantly dressed man wearing a navy suit and dark glasses emerged. Mysterious Mistex paparazzi snapped angrily, and reporters rushed microphones at him. He said nothing, just straightened his tie and entered the courtroom, where Jim Jones sat solemnly with his lawyers. His hoodie was gone and his face was exposed, exhausted and empty. The judge arrived, called for silence, and the last day of evidence began when Mr. X approached the stand. The gallery leaned forward as if they were about to hear the verdict of a trial under oath. Mr. X claimed to have known Chrissy for years and that their connection had once been more than just acquaintances. The gasps came precisely on cue as he claimed that during a passionate affair. This was not the larger-than-life Harlem hustler we had known. When the courtroom sat in stunned silence, Jim Jones looked up for the first time in hours and fixed his gaze on the man claiming to be the father of the child his own betrothed had buried. He allegedly said, "I gave her everything." Mr. X then revealed what put Twitter into cardiac arrest. He claimed that he and Chrissy had signed a confidential legal document, and that Chrissy had sworn Jim could never know that he had followed her wishes but remained a part of the child's life from a distance. During Jim Jones' trial, or Crest's hidden child, Mr. X's closed. The crowd outside erupted as news broke and hashtags exploded. Within seconds, one popular post revealed Jim Jones' Dipset chain modified with the words "trust difficulties" instead of diplomats. Meanwhile, back inside the defense, they hurried to object, claiming the papers were unauthenticated. Miss Dex was pursuing fame, and what he had said was a masterfully prepared deception. The agreement to keep everything hidden, including monthly child support payments from Chrissy, was reportedly so secret that even Jim's own counsel was unaware it existed. Intended to destroy a famous marriage, but by this point the damage was done. The court of public opinion had already handed down its verdict. And Jim left the building with security cameras filming him head down, shoulders down, and Chrissy nowhere to be seen. Cameron, on the other hand, went out eating a hot dog and waving to onlookers as if he were walking the red carpet. As the proceedings went on, the judge addressed the big issue, even though this case was still a civil dispute legally. The shocking evidence presented had caught the attention of state and federal investigators who were suspicious of money laundering. The judge granted the defense against probable criminal exposure, stating that the court will reconvene in 2 weeks. But the headlines couldn't wait that long. Jim Jones, the fall of a hip-hop hero, Chrissy's kid bombshell may bring down to pet. Empire Cameron declares victory as unreported child support money and frauds began to swarm like vultures. And various record companies started backing away from potential partnerships with Jim. Sponsors secretly withdrew contracts. And reality TV producers debated whether to delete or turbo the following season. As the courtroom vacated, Jim, reportedly, waited for several seconds before walking out alone. Cameron allegedly mumbled something under his breath, telling you whether Jim heard it or not. And just like that, the most dramatic courtroom saga in recent hip-hop memory ended for the time being. But aftershocks had only just begun when the Dipset retail stores occurred. Jim falls into career disaster. Social media, of course, has its own perspective. A viral TikTok dubbed Jim the new Tristan Thompson of hip-hop. Some admirers pleaded for forgiveness, while others declared Jim done. Mysteriously disappeared the following morning, and Jim's social media was silent until Chrissy finally broke her silence by posting a mysterious black square with no message, leaving fans to speculate about whether it was an apology, a power move, or a departure. Meanwhile, Cameron gave a surprise Instagram Live called Petty Wins Again, in which he nonchalantly recapped the entire drama for his fans while sipping tea while his favorite instrumentals played in the background. He ended the live with one last punch, so I don't have to find out on TMZ. Legal experts commented on all media platforms. They speculated that Chrissy might face fraud charges. There are no definitive answers as of yet. Chrissy is still silent. Jim, is Chrissy the ultimate villain? Or is there more to this drama than anyone knows? Was Jim completely caught off guard? Or were there warning signs he chose to ignore? Well, Cameron ever grow weary of being the king of petty spoilers? One thing is certain, though. This is only the beginning. As the topic dominated headlines for weeks, fans speculated whether Jim and Chrissy reconnect. Was there any chance to repair their brand, or has this irrevocably broken not only a relationship but a whole hip-hop legacy? If you enjoy explosive celebrity drama with a hint of sarcasm, please hit the subscribe button and turn on alerts. You for watching, and until the next time, stay dirty and stay skeptical. In the world of celebrity false news, the tea never stops brewing. And that, my friends, is the messy, chaotic, jaw-dropping drama that no one saw coming. Courtroom drama is all on the way, and you don't want to miss it. What happens next? Comment below with your thoughts, and who are you on Team Jim, Chrissy, or Cameron? And Cameron is laughing like the king of petty he is somewhere out there. But don't get too comfortable because this story is far from over. We want to hear your wildest theories in the comment section right now. Was June really shocked? Or was he just ignoring everything? Is Chrissy playing some sort of next-level survival game? Or is this the ultimate betrayal? Let's be honest, is Cameron just stoking the fire for fun? Or does he have a bigger plan up his sleeve? If you're as addicted to celebrity drama as we are, be sure you don't want to miss what's next. So hit the like button, slam, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Trust me, in the world of fake news scandals, the secrets only get dirty, the tea only gets hotter, and the drama never stops simmering.